please take a moment to subscribe to my YouTube channel.
What was that compound that we got into where we had that one building and everybody's like, oh yeah, there's like chemicals in it or whatever, and it had like all the lathes and stuff outside of it?
That was a Republican Guard base.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly where that was. That was
Al-Qut. It was somewhere between Al-Qut and Baghdad, because I remember we left Al-Qut, we went into that Republican Guard base, and then
that was really, really close to Baghdad.
Between Al-Qut and Diyala.
Yeah,
I remember I was Al-Qut,
right
then
before Diyala.
Guard base, and then we went on to Diyala.
It was the one that we dropped the line charge on.
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually have a picture of that line charge going off too. It looks like crap, but I know what it is.
Oh shoot. Well, if you got a picture of it, that's awesome. You should freaking share that at some point.
Well, we were close as hell to that line charge. Like, I mean, I think
I was right next to you guys the whole time.
Well, I remember a couple of things. I remember feeling my teeth shift in my jaw. And it was kind of cool. I wish I could have got a picture of it, but as soon as that line charge went off, I'm down in the driver's station, and I remember for, I don't know, a couple of seconds, like the dust that got shaken up by that concussion was in the perfect shape of the driver's station. It was weird. It was like a ghost vehicle within the vehicle. It's hard to describe, but it was cool. But that charge fucked me up, man.
Yeah. I was like, man, if I was the Iraqis, I would just give up. And turns out that's pretty much what they did.
Pretty much.
Just abandoned their base.
Yeah, there was I wish I had pictures of that crap, man, because I swear that wasn't it like French equipment? Was it French or German?
I don't recall.
It was somebody that's supposed to be our friend.
Yeah, I mean, I just remember it was, like brand new lathes, and they had them all like sandbagged in there. Mm-hmm. And I remember they brought in the Fox vehicle because they're like, there's chemical stuff over here. And I think we left before that Fox vehicle showed up. And it wasn't up until a couple of years ago that I found one report about that base, about that moment. And it said that it tested positive for trace amounts of nerve agents.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, it took me, how many years of wondering whatever happened with that building before I finally figured it out. And then it's like, oh, it was trace amounts of nerve agents. And it's like, oh, well, yeah, it was a good thing we were all standing out there without any kind of gear, wondering what this building is.
Yeah. And
I remember nobody wanted to go into it because, you look through the windows and it's like, oh, yeah, there's like chemical test equipment over there in the building. And like nobody was going to walk in there, just on their own accord.
Yeah.
So
I remember standing outside talking to Money Shot, and we were smoking cigarettes. And then Hillbilly came over, and we started talking about something that he had done with a rubber glove, or I don't remember. He fixed a vehicle under fire, and we never went inside the building. But that's the only memory that I have of like when we were inside that base.
You know what my memory of that base is we found there was a bunch of trucks in there. There's a bunch of Mercedes trucks, and everybody was cutting the Mercedes logo out of that and wearing it around their necks like Busta Rhymes. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Some people put them on the front of the track.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that because I looked it up a number of years ago, and I think if you Google OSIRAC, OSIRAC, there was that's where Iraq was running. Supposedly, they were running their nuclear program out of there. Back, I want to say before or around the Gulf War, and Israel basically bombed the shit out of it and took out all their research and stuff. So I'm pretty sure that was in that same area.
I think it was.
So we might have all been irradiated for all we know.
Yeah, probably.
I'm sure. I don't know how thorough they were with cleaning up the nuclear waste that was left over from that.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
But no, that was kind of a cool place. It was real eerie. I mean, I think that was probably one of the times where I was most, kind of on my toes, expecting some shit,
I remember when we first rolled up, we were rolling along the Diyala, and there was palm groves around us. And I remember I saw a couple of trucks out there kind of like hidden in the palm grove, you know, and they had like leaves and stuff on them. And somebody threw track. I think Casanova's vehicle threw track. And so they were over there fixing it. So I told Casanova, hey, you know, there's a couple of vehicles over there in the woods, you know, right over here. And, you know, can I go check them out? And he's like, yeah, take your crewman with you and then you can go check them out. And he's like, don't go past, you know, that vehicle. And so I went out there and I took my crewman and we went over there and like went through the vehicle and cleared it and everything. And I remember thinking to myself, like, dude, like me and him are just out here by ourselves, you know, and at any moment, you know, we're in this like Republican Guard base compound thing. And any moment, dude, somebody's gonna like come out and like try and like cap us or something. And so I had my crewman like keeping watch, and I was sitting there, you know, going through all the vehicle. Well, there was a second vehicle that was like 50 feet away. So I'm like, all right, let me go check that vehicle real quick. So I go over there, you know, start going through it, you know, and it's got like tarps and stuff over the bed. So I go and throw the tarps aside, you know, to kind of see what's in the bed, and there's like nothing in there. One of them had like a little locker or something. So we opened the locker and it was just like almost like personal belongings and stuff. You know, it was really kind of weird because it looked like those vehicles had been sitting there forever. And right as I got done clearing the second vehicle, Casanova, it's like, hey, I turn around, he's got his 9mm leveled at me. And he's like, what'd I tell you? I was like, not to go past that vehicle, you know, and he's like, I thought you were an Iraqi. I was about to shoot you. I was like, thinking in my head, like, you knew I wasn't an Iraqi. Well, he had one of the infantry with him. And so he walked up and he just punches me square in the jaw, just bah, you know? And I'm just like, yeah, I fully expected it. And, you know, our nature up to that point is, you know, physical corrections, you know?
Right.
So he goes in, he just punches me square in the jaw. And I look at the grunt behind him. The grunt's just sitting there just like laughing, you know, like not out loud, just kind of doing one of these, you know, laughing kind of things. And right after that, he's like, so what'd you find? And I was like, well, we found, you know, some binoculars and compasses. And, you know, there was like some kind of artillery piece that was sitting in there with a bunch of like maps and stuff. And he's like, well, let's go find more shit. You know? And so we ended up finding a third vehicle. I think it was like right past that. So we went, you know, grabbed all this stuff and then sent it up to, I forgot whose vehicle he put it on, but we were basically, you know, shooting it up the chain of command to figure out if there was anything they could do with it. But yeah, that was just like, you know, just the funniest thing ever, because it's like I knew the chin check was coming, you know, and as soon as he punched me, it's like that was Casanova, you know. All right, you screwed up. Here's your punishment. Time to move forward. You know, he never really held a grudge like that. But
it's funny because in one of my videos I was talking about, you remember that PT session where he started doing like jumping jacks after everybody finally got it right? He did more of them. And I had a bunch of comments, people saying like, oh, why didn't you give him a towel party, or, you know, soap and a sock and all this other stuff? And I'm like, yeah, who was going to be the one to give Casanova a freaking towel party? Like, I'm not participating in that.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about doing a TikTok about Casanova, but it's like, how do I accurately tell that story?
That's why I wish I had like a video camera, because whenever I think about Iraq, I remember that when we were getting out of there. I remember that time under the cami net, and for some reason he got some pantyhose in the mail. You remember that?
Oh God, I remember that.
Remember that? He disappeared into a tent, and so they had a football game going out. He disappeared in the tent. He comes out wearing nothing but them damn pantyhose, no underwear underneath. Comes running out. Somebody threw the ball. He like caught the pass. And
that's a good one. I forgot about that too.
I wish I had video, man. That was priceless. Absolutely priceless.
I got some pictures under that cami net. I think I have a picture of you under the cami net.
Me?
Booty. Yeah.
Yeah, it's possible. I was telling
you in
Casey,
Hollywood.
Like, I got to go through. I got to find all my negatives because I remember getting my film developed on the way back, but I'm missing so. I think they. I don't know if they developed all my film. I think they kept a lot of pictures back, or I don't know where they ended up. But I didn't get half my pictures back.
Yeah, same thing happened to me.
So I don't know. I got to look at the negatives and see if there's more photos in the negatives that I can pull out.
They straight blacked out some of my negatives.
Yeah.
Oh, did they mess up your negatives?
Oh yeah. Like
Yeah.
all my good pictures, like my good pictures, the Walmart blacked them out.
Oh, Walmart did?
Yep.
Oh wow.
Back in 03. Like as soon as we got back, I got them developed, and then they came out with no good pictures. I'm like, really?
Oh
Like
wow.
I had a bunch of like really good pictures on there, and they blacked them all out.
Yeah, I think I took a picture of a few of us smoking cigarettes next to Mr. Crispy.
Yeah, they would have blacked that one out for
We
sure.
wanted, we had some dreams of like, hanging a sign around his neck that said, smoking kills or something like that. But we didn't get the sign. We were going to caption it, but I didn't get that picture back. Probably a good thing.
Probably, yeah.
I got to go through my negatives because I mean there were some pictures in there that I remember taking, but I didn't get them back. There's nothing wrong with them.
No, I looked at my negatives because I actually just sent mine off to Kodak, and that was expensive, but nobody else would develop the negatives.
Oh,
But when
really?
I got them back, there was a lot of them were like yellow, like a yellow tint to them, and I don't know why. Because the originals, when I originally got them developed, they didn't have that issue. So I guess like over time, those negatives like kind of deteriorate. So just be aware that something like that might happen to yours too.
I was gonna look because don't they have don't they have scanners that you can scan negatives and basically print them out, and render them digitally now?
I don't know because I heard you can do that with like a flatbed scanner or something. I've never tried
do.
it. Well,
I
I did try it
downloaded-
once.
I downloaded an app to my phone, and I did that with some negatives, but the pictures don't turn out very good quality at all.
No, I thought they make like some of the, I don't remember. This was, I mean, back in the day when people were, when when film was still a thing, right? They had
My phone is like top of the line, and it's still like.
I mean, they had an actual
crap
like a
pictures.
scanner that you feed the negatives, you feed the negative in, and it'll more or less, instead of developing a photo, it just makes a digital photo from the negative. Like, yeah, because
No, I
they're
haven't
selling
heard
it's
of
like, oh
those.
yeah, you got a bunch of old film and negatives, make them digital here with this negative scanner.
I have to look that up.
I think the surprising thing here is Kodak's still around.
Yeah. Dude, so I sent off I forgot how many negatives. I think it was like 1, 2, 3, 4-ish, maybe 4 negatives. And it cost me probably it was for about 70 bucks just to get them redeveloped. And then, like I said, man, it got them back, and like half of them are just like this yellowish color.
Yeah,
It's like you got to go in with Photoshop and try and like revert that yellow back out of it.
just degraded with time, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Please like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more stories.